auto-generating Stoic quote images for IG content, specifically auto-generating Muslim quote images for IG content, but I'll get into it. Essentially, what Shufl is, this will be a quick overview video. Shufl is a small tool that I built that solves a really specific problem I was trying to solve when I was marketing Arabic Bridge. Arabic Bridge is a mobile app side project that I had already built and deployed. So essentially, I, for my side project, had tens of thousands of these text content from religious, Islamic religious texts. So the Quran, the Islamic hadiths, sayings of our Prophet, peace be upon him. So this is kind of how it looked like. So jump into the, let's jump into alt tab issues. This is how that looks like. So you see, I just have 8,300 rows of just text content. So these are all just kind of like examples of what the Prophet would say in his lifetime, and this kind of forms the understanding of how Islam was practiced. It's kind of a big piece of like understanding the religion, in addition to the Quran, obviously. So I've got both pieces here. And these are all like small little anecdotes, little stories, lessons that he gave that are super helpful in day-to-day life. And so my idea was, after we built Legacy, this is a startup that I was running, where we were really kind of heads down in development. I figured like, okay, let's try to do some marketing before we really go hard into just adding features and features. So, trying to be observant with how folks are doing marketing. Obviously, seen a lot of this stuff get memed out, right? The Stoic quotes everywhere. Everyone's got a Stoic quote content, and they're like stupid popular, 300,000 plus followers, whatever. So I figured like I can do something like this for my app because I have the database of text, and like these images are like pretty generic, so I could just kind of mash the two together, get some marketing going, and direct people from Instagram over to my app. That was the initial intention. Yeah, so I mean, like I know how to write software. I can write code, so I can spin up something that helps me generate these easier. And like usual, just so you can get into it right away, I got links to the project and the GitHub if you want to just see the meat and potatoes of the stuff. Before we get into it, describing the problem a little bit better, kind of like why I decided to build this thing. Not all marketing efforts for side projects, I think, need to be like TikTok reels or what I'm doing here, like really kind of heavy content based like YouTube videos. Consumers still love this like short form, quick hits of text content. A lot of apps kind of serve like meaningful content. There's like affirmation apps, there's vocabulary apps, even more like religious apps that are kind of like in the marketplace doing the strategy super successfully. So a few that I wanted to call out, actually one specific company is called Monkey Tabs. So this is their app. You can see here, like it's this is the Stoic content. This is their IG. Like they're still posting constantly. 2 days ago, 4K likes. 4 days ago, almost like 9.3K likes. And these are like, you hold your destiny in your hands. Decide on what you want, then go after it with all your passion. It's not like crazy content, right? I listen to what my heart needs. It just hits. People love this stuff. 1.2 million followers. And let's talk about like not just following count, but how much revenue does this get? It's 1.3. There's a typo here. Their app, if you just look at the actual app revenue as estimated by this is Sensor Tower. I don't know if I got a link to it over here somewhere. I don't, but Sensor Tower is a really cool tool. I believe it's a free tool. You can go ahead and search for apps like motivation. What it does, it basically like walks back some APIs that are exposed by the Google Play Store and the iOS store, the App Store, and it kind of tells you like how many people are downloading this, what's the revenue like. So you can see here for motivation, those little text pieces of content, 400,000 monthly downloads, 400K monthly revenue, and 10K roughly on Android on the Play Store. So this text content not only hits with people on Instagram getting likes, but it translates to real dollars. Like this is a serious business. So you can imagine like this is like the core marketing engine. Generating these images at scale for your own app is pretty tedious because you have to like you can think about like getting the quote, putting it on the image, cropping it to the size, and then sending it over to Instagram, Pinterest, wherever you're doing it. So it's easy for motivation app because it's like kind of just a piece of text. You can use tools like Canva, whatever, to get that done. But what I saw is there's no real easy way to do this from an API endpoint, and it takes a lot of time to like do what I was saying, just like grab the thing from the DB. You got to set up maybe a read-only thing for your marketing team to go like grab it, throw it into Canva, and then bulk create. Like, just kind of a hassle. So we have this large database of engaging content. That's my thought with the Islamic content that I have here. It's kind of time consuming to grab that image, and kind of more like these Stoic quotes: grab an image, grab the text, mash them together, like get it out at scale. So yeah, the idea was like we can generate this using software. Like there's a way to do this. That's where Shufl comes in. So this is the actual tool. We can get into it in a second here. Essentially what it lets you do, this tool lets you upload your own image, set some basic styling stuff, and then use, I have like a few APIs that I put in for as an example. And then it lets you just generate content hitting that endpoint. So let's go through an overview for Arabic Bridge. I kind of show you, like, I'll do a walkthrough of how this all works over here. So Arabic Bridge, what is that, right? So this is that app I was mentioning. This is what I kind of released out in the marketplace. Essentially what it is just daily Islamic quotes to help you live a better life. It's super simple, very similar to the affirmations app, very much Monkey Taps inspired. Not trying to reinvent the wheel here. It's a pretty standard Next.js app. There's nothing crazy happening with the app itself. What I did is essentially add this endpoint, API/get Islamic quote. And I think I got that over here. So this is that endpoint. You see, like every time I refresh it, we're just going to grab a slightly different quote here. So there it is, right? Super simple. All I'm doing is pulling that DB that I have here and just grabbing something that kind of works. What I do is I just clamp down the limit so I don't grab like a big paragraph because it's going to go onto Instagram. So really simple output. Next I need my images. So I'm going to slap the text on top of an image that just looks really nice. So super simple. Use Midjourney for this. There's nothing crazy happening here. Let's look at some prompts. Close up 3/4 shot of multiple Muslim mosque minaret. Photorealistic, brightly lit, traditional, royal. Simple. Nothing crazy. Okay, put that in there. I got more prompts over here. You can read the article if you're interested. So what you do is you drop all this into Shufl, right? So you set the aspect ratio that you want. This is kind of using the presets and stuff. You put in your URL here. So let's go ahead and drop my Arabic Bridge API. Let's put that into there. And there it goes. You see that's working. It's grabbing some quotes from the Quran. It's grabbing some quotes from the Quran. There's that hadith from Sahih Bukhari. Right? Okay, easy peasy. Right, so I'll assume I can just put in the whatever images I got there. But as soon as I click this generate image button, there you go. It starts generating them for me. I can do as many as I want. You need to download those. It just goes, straight here. Pretty simple stuff. Nothing too crazy. Nothing really groundbreaking. But boy, does this save a ton of time. And so if I just plugged in those images that I had, you start to see like it just outputs exactly what I want. So yeah, as soon as I get those images, now I can just click that button, generate. I can go ahead and upload that over to where I need to. So overall, the actual tool is pretty simple. Like really, it was just kind of like a quick proof of concept, like a little tool to help me out. Because I'm a lazy software engineer. I don't want to work too hard on marketing. I figured if Stoic Quotes can get to 189K followers doing this content, I can do something similar with Islamic content, but without having to work too hard on actually generating the content itself. For those who are interested, this will be kind of more of a technical walkthrough of what's going on here. So yeah, overall, this is just the Next.js project. I'll jump into the code base right now. There's a few components really that I kind of want to call out. But the core of it is essentially it's just a form that I use. You pull the API, store that in React memory, and then you just call you call this HTML2 canvas package that goes ahead and actually just lets you download this particular canvas element, converts it to a PNG, and lets you save it. So let's go into here. This is the actual code. So yeah, nothing too crazy going on here. This is like just the home page. This is the generate images. You see here, like we just have a bunch of, it's just React state to hold all the state that we want, right? So like the API, the actual image we're on. This is big enough. Let's increase the size actually. Yeah, so nothing crazy. It's just you store all the user configuration information inside of React use state. So that's all going on there. These generated image configs. That's interesting. These generated image configs is what's going to be used to actually populate these. So this is all. These are all just. It's just a React array. So in-memory array that just holds the config for each of these particular images. So let's jump into this. So the generated image config, this basically gets generated with some random combination of like calling the API, grabbing a random quote, grabbing a random image, and then just generating that config. That goes into custom image preview. This is where you actually find the HTML2 canvas, so it's really simple. React, the HTML2 canvas React package basically works off of refs. So you give it a ref into this div element. You go ahead and style this div using, whatever you're using. Like I'm using Tailwind, so I just style it using that. Nothing too crazy going on here. There's some interesting callouts that are with the image component. HTML to canvas specifically has a hard time with CSS image rules, image styles. So you cannot do like CSS object cover. That just breaks. It totally stretches it in weird ways. Instead, if you do this with an image, with an actual like image component, and then you just position that absolutely right within the div that you've set relative, that works out great. So the div is relative, the image is positioned absolutely in a way that centers it. You just do this. This is that like magic key, translate it -50, -50%, and then you just position it in the middle. You get the right look. That's kind of happening here. And this is really helpful because if you're having users plug in their own images, like you just want to like fit the aspect ratio and not get crazy stretched or whatever. Pretty simple stuff here. You absolutely position that command. You have just absolutely position the actual text content here. So that's gonna the image is absolutely covered, or the image is absolutely positioned, and then on top of that goes the absolutely positioned text, but that's within the bounds of the container box. And then the download button. So the download button it's pretty straightforward. HTML to canvas, pass over the ref, create a data URL, create a link, populate the link with the right properties and the URL for that particular data URL, and then simulate that click. Simulate that click using JavaScript, and then that lets you get that download functionality. And then you're good to go. There you go. This is ready for social media. And if you're a better marketer than I am, you can probably generate more than this is my Arabic bridge attempt. You can generate more than 122 followers. So that's kind of the quick overview here. And actually, you probably noticed it when I went to the Arabic bridge page. But as far as what's next, I actually want to work on extending this. So this I built, I tried it, and I was like, wait a minute, I can actually do better. I need to figure out how I can animate these videos because I feel like the discovery on Reels is much better. So what I ended up doing was creating an FFmpeg addition to this, where after I've generated the text content plus the images, you can see here I want to do this like really simple zoom to create a video and then add in a random song and upload it. So I'm working on another maybe like a CLI tool for this FFmpeg setup that I have. That's probably coming in later, maybe potentially more valuable, because I think the title here is you can generate up to, unlimited, however big your database is, worth of TikTok Reels, which is super powerful. So yeah, that's the quick overview of Shufl. It's live. If it finds any use, feel free to use it. It's on Vercel's free tier. So if I notice some crazy spike, unfortunately I'll have to probably pull it down. But otherwise, it's free to use. So hope this is useful for somebody. Hopefully this was useful for you. That's it. Till next time.